Not your average tabletop. Woohoo!
Welcome to Not Your Average Tabletop. I'm Zach.
And I'm Pepper.
And today we're going to give our first impressions of the search for Planet X.
Yes.
As you can see, we don't have the box here because we're searching for
Search for Planet X. Where is it?
We don't know where it is.
It's over there.
But yeah, so we've played this one, was it once or twice?
Twice, I believe.
2 times. And this is kind of a game where you are, it's another one of those that it's kind of like, is this a board game or is it more of like a...
I think it's a game.
It's a game.
It's a game.
But I
don't know if it's a board game.
Question whether or not it's a board game, yes.
Very app integrated, and it's kind of all about deduction, different rules of different objects, and trying to find the location of Planet X.
So yeah, throughout the game, there's a planet board with different areas.
Different sectors, little
different
wedges,
sectors.
1 through 12, or 1 through more than that for an advanced side.
And each one of those has either like asteroids, comets, Planet X. Some are empty, and the various things in the game. And you're trying to kind of figure out what each one of those has in it. You don't necessarily have to figure out what everyone has in it, but that can help you score points throughout the game.
Throughout the game, you'll be getting little awards for predicting specific areas correctly and what you think that's in there. But then, of course, the big prize is being the first, or just being able to find Planet X.
And when you do that, you also have to, the 2 wedges that are next to where Planet X is, you have to get those correct as well. Right, so you can't just randomly guess a certain sector for Planet X. But yeah, so I was pretty interested in this one, just because I kind of like those mental type deduction games where you're trying to find out, okay, because of this can't be this, and things like that. Logic puzzles kind of is what it would be, I think. So I was really looking forward to this one, and yeah, I'd say I was pretty excited about it.
Yeah, I was pretty excited about it as well. I heard great things, obviously, and just kind of another unique game. And like you, I am a fan of kind of those logic puzzles and just trying to figure out, okay, so this is that. This is pretty much logic puzzles. I'm not going to just re-explain it in a different way. Just, yeah, it's very fun to... I like Mastermind, which is just like a very kind of basic little puzzle of... you have this many right, this many exact, and
probably the hot thing, at least in maybe last year, Wordle. I think was similar to
Wordle is kind of Mastermind with words, and just trying to get little bits of information and figuring it out from there. I just love anything with that.
So yeah, we played it those couple of times, and it definitely is that.
It is.
But that I think that's where I start to say like, this more feels like something I would have played on like some website or something, or some video game almost. Or some sort of app or something. Is what it really feels like. And I'm sure maybe there probably is just an app version. I don't know that you necessarily need the board. I think it kind of connects you with the other players. But yeah, I liked it quite a bit for what it is, because I do like logic puzzles. If you don't like logic puzzles, I don't think you're going to like this, because that's really, at the end of the day, what it is. It's basically like one of those that you might find in one of the riddle or whatever book type things. It's very similar to something like that. Kind of the main other interaction is kind of being the first to kind of discover or predict the certain things. But that could be done if you're doing an app version. That could be done there as well. But that, like I said, doesn't mean I don't like it. But that is what the game is, and I enjoyed it for that.
I really like kind of the, I guess, I was going to say rondel, but I don't think that's really a rondel, but kind of the whoever's farthest back on the track gets to keep going. And you have all the different actions.
There's a time piece to it.
And all the actions have a certain time cost to them, obviously.
That part is...
If you're getting more valuable information, that's going to cost you more time to take that action,
Mm-hmm.
and that adds probably the most board gamey element of it.
I would agree.
think.
Yeah, that is probably one of my favorite pieces that does feel the most board gamey. Because usually you don't have that sort of element in a logic puzzle. Like, you don't get like, oh, you. I don't even know how you do it because a lot of logic puzzles I feel like you're doing them solo.
Yeah, it's just
so
like, here's
usually
the
not.
information figured out.
Right. So, yeah, I would agree that part is very solid. And I always really like that in games. Kind of make the biggest one I think that we have anyway is Glenmore 2 is what that makes me think of, and I really love that game.
And I like how as you move along, that reveals more of the map, or kind of moves the area of which you can search. And there's a few different ways to search. You can search an exact spot and be told what's in it, whether there's an asteroid, comet, or empty. It won't tell you that it's Planet X. That would just show up as empty. And you have information of how many of each type are in each game. So it's like, okay, so there's an asteroid here, or whatever, or a comet.
And they have rules and stuff.
So like comets, or one of them has to be adjacent to another one of its type. And then so it's like, okay, so I know that there's one here.
So there has to be one.
There has to be another one in this spot next to it, or that one next to it. And and there's additional rules that you can discover throughout the game. You can take actions to learn about it. It will kind of tell you what the options are for that game. So like asteroids and gas planets, like how they interact, it'll have a new rule that you can research, which I really love that part of the game, where you can just get a whole new bunch of information, especially if you discovered where you think one or two of those are, and that can just really help to narrow things down.
Yeah, it's I do like the game quite a bit, and getting those or kind of special information that's given to all the players every now and then that kind of gives you just another clue of what to work with, or one of your options to spend time on is getting those extra hints as to how certain things interact. So it's a solid logic puzzle.
It is.
With just a bit of board game touch to it. But I probably, for a first impression, I'd probably give this one around a 7.5, 7. It depends if I'm in the mood for a logic puzzle, because I don't think, like, for game night or board game night, I don't know that this is always going to be one that I would pick for something like that, just because it's more of like, oh, does everyone want to do a bit of a brain teaser type thing, or do we want to... Not saying that don't play games that are even more heavy, more thinking than even something like this, but it's just a different...
It's a different way to use your brain.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably the same thing for me. I have an 8.25, so like obviously really great for what it is, but definitely not one that I'm always going to be ready to play. It's definitely, there's going to be times where it's like, you know what, I really want to do a little thinky puzzle here, and this is going to be a great game to pull out in those times, but like you said, it's not one that's just going to hit the table often.
Right, 100%. But if you want to kind of see what's in the box, definitely check out our unboxing. Obviously, you won't be able to see the app in that, where a lot of the magic happens. I think every time we use the app, it's pretty. It's worked really well. It's very clear as to what you're doing. So I would say that the app is really awesome. I would give that 3 thumbs up if I had a third thumb. But check those videos out. Otherwise, check out our other First Imps, other unboxing videos. But we hope to see you on those videos. And as always, don't forget to
keep on nibbling
on our content.